Welcome back. In Afghanistan, the Taliban have taken control of the key eastern city of Jalalabad without a fight after its governor surrendered to the group. This followed the Taliban's seizure of the major northern city of Mazar-e-Sharif a day earlier. Kabul is now the last major city under the government's control. The Taliban now control 25 of Afghanistan's 34 provincial capitals. In a tweet, the Taliban spokesperson claimed to have captured Maidan Vardak's capital, Maidan-e-Shar, along with Nangarhar's Spingar district. Meanwhile, the United States officials say the evacuation of diplomats from Kabul has begun, but the embassy continues to function. Earlier, President Joe Biden warned the Taliban of swift and strong military response if a U.S. mission is attacked. Biden also announced the deployment of 5,000 troops in Afghanistan to help evacuate its citizens and ensure a safe withdrawal of its forces. Elsewhere, Uzbekistan says it has detained 84 Afghan soldiers who crossed its border. For more on this, we are joined by Mr. Arshad Yousafzai, a political analyst speaking to us from Peshawar. Mr. Yousafzai, thank you so much for speaking to Indus News. Now, Mr. Yousafzai, with the Taliban now in control of all major cities other than Kabul, do you believe President Ashraf Ghani might resign?
It's a very important question, and everybody wants to know the answer. Unfortunately, President Ghani has not decided yet. And I said unfortunately because for the safety of Kabul and its residents, for the safety of the beautiful city, as soon as President Ghani resigns, it would be better, because the Taliban have now reached Jalalabad. They are in control in Logar, and also they have reached on other places that connect them to Kabul. They can launch an offensive anytime, and it's better to save the bloodshed, and for President Ghani to resign would be the safest and better option.
All right, Mr. Yousafzai, now the United States President Joe Biden has sent an additional 5,000 troops for the safe exit of U.S. personnel. If there would be an attack on Kabul, could we see the United States dragged back into the conflict on the ground?
I don't think so, no. They would not want to start a new war with the Afghan Taliban, who are controlling the country now. I believe that the forces are there only for the safety of the U.S. personnel and the diplomats, and they would try to finish their job as soon as possible to just get out of the country and leave it to whoever is fighting there.
Now, Mr. Yousafzai, if the war in Afghanistan protracts further, would there be an additional influx of refugees into Pakistan, and what could be the monetary and social cost of such an exodus?
Yes, this is an important question, and Pakistan is already expecting between 500,000 to 700,000 fresh refugees, although the UNHCR puts this figure very low. It's just 200,000 in their calculations. But Pakistan is not in a financial position to support any additional refugees. Pakistan's economy is not that strong. So to support any additional refugees, Pakistan must get guarantees from international community and from aid agencies. Unless they provide guarantees, unless they are committed to supporting the refugees, Pakistan cannot do it on its own.
All right, Mr. Yousafzai, is there still any hope of a negotiated political settlement in Afghanistan, and what would it take?
Well, the only hope now is that Kabul regime should resign. They should leave Kabul to Taliban without a bloodshed and let them come into power now. Because the Taliban, as they have promised, and hopefully they will keep their promises, that they will not repeat the mistakes that they did in the past. And they are willing to communicate and have engagement with international community like they've been doing with our regional powers, China, Iran, and Russia. So I believe it is now time for the Kabul regime to let it go and to let Taliban come into power in Kabul.
All right. Mr. Arshad Yousafzai, thank you so much for speaking to Indus News.